Well, it's amazing that it's taken something like what happened in San Bernardino, but this past week I've seen a lot of people, some not particularly political, others who even maybe voted for Obama once or perhaps twice, who really feel like, what is our president doing here? And should be saying some of the things that you just mentioned about be vigilant. These sheriffs who are bold enough to go out and tell people to arm themselves, you got to give a lot of praise to them. But we certainly appreciate your efforts, Congressman Ted Yoho. It's always great to have you here. Hope to have you here on a sunnier topic next time around. But best of luck and Merry Christmas if we don't talk to you before.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And let's all pray that the next time we do speak, it is on a great topic about the new direction for America.
You can follow Ted Yoho on Twitter at Ted Yoho and at Rep Ted Yoho. That's REPTEDYOHO. Governor Palin has been hitting the book tour circuit hard. We were honored to have her here a couple of weeks ago, and along with her many radio and TV appearances, she's also been out at book signings. Thousands upon thousands have come out for their chance to meet the governor. This past week, folks in California had the privilege of a Palin visit. After one big stop in the Golden State, Palin wrote on Facebook, "Thank you to everyone who came out to celebrate their sweet freedom at the range today. California's warm hospitality at this fantastically unique book signing included a mama grizzly bear guarding the book table. Thanks to Jim, Betsy, Don, and the entire team at Oak Tree Gun Club. This was the best. Thanks for a true California adventure with American patriots proudly clinging to their God, their guns, their Constitution, because they love their freedom." Palin has also been featuring some blurbs and commentary about her book on social media. She included a quote from yours truly this past week, "My thoughts on sweet freedom. Thank you so much, Governor, for including Mama Grizzly Radio in your book promotion. The book is outstanding, and so are you." This past week, Governor Palin showcased some amazing work from an artist who recreates famous paintings using children with Down syndrome. It's all to prove that everyone is a work of art. You can check out these adorable kids and the tremendous artwork right on the Mama Grizzly Radio Facebook page. To see any of the governor's posts in their entirety, visit Sarah Palin's Facebook page, follow her on Twitter at Sarah Palin USA, and check out sarahpack.com.
Now, the Palin Update with Kevin Scholla presents Liberty and Legacy. Here's Tamara Colbert.
As you listen to my voice today, take a moment to reflect on what this day really is all about and the importance it has in American history. December 7th. A mere 74 years ago, Pearl Harbor was attacked, an assault that forced America into World War II. There are several days important to my family, and one happens to be December 8th. Because that was the day my grandfather, Private First Class Robert Murphy, a teenage Marine stationed on Wake Island, was on the receiving end as well of Japanese aggression as they began bombarding the island for takeover. His 1st Marine Defense Battalion, under the leadership of Major James P.S. Devereaux, had a total of 450 officers and men, and they fought gallantly against the Japanese until December 23rd, when they were out of ammunition and were forced to surrender. Can you imagine such a small group of men with some additional civilians who were stationed there building up the island defenses, fought off more than 10,000 Japanese soldiers for almost 2 weeks? Many historians claim that Wake's defense in 1941 had been one of few bright spots during the first months of war in the Pacific, and it provided Americans with a stirring example of heroism. Do we have stirring examples of heroism today? You bet we do. They're everywhere if we just look for them. My grandfather was captured and remained a POW for the duration of World War II, and it wasn't until after Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the unconditional surrender of the Japanese that he was free. He was tortured beyond belief, with a loss of feeling in his fingers, back issues, stomach and intestinal issues, and severe PTSD for the remainder of his life. But I share this with you not because I want pity or sympathy, but for the incredible fortitude and heroism that he lived. It kept him alive. Amazingly, he and my grandmother continued their war correspondence throughout his captivity. Even seeing those letters with the Japanese blacking out certain words and phrases is still amazing to see today. Their letters now reside in the Navy Marine Corps Museum in Quantico, Virginia. So proud of that. But when I hear our president fumbling around for words and phrases, instead of using what should rightly be used to call Islamic terrorism what it is, when a jihadi couple murders, really guns down and kills 14 people and wounds 21 others in California at their Christmas party, I'm disgusted. In memory of my grandfather and the hundreds of thousands of other Americans who have died to defend the great ideal that is America, I'm mad as heck. First of all, that our citizens have been so silent in all of this, that our churches have been so silent in all of this, so silent that the neighbors of this jihadist couple were afraid to report them, and all the crazy activity for fear of being called racist. And then we have our Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, telling Muslims that if their kids are bullied at school, she wants them to report to her directly the name of the school and the kids. Really? Is this what my grandfather fought so gallantly for and endured as a POW for people like this? Heck no. This is what Stalin, Mao, and so many other dictators over the past 100 years did that resulted in the murder and torture of 100 million people worldwide. Mr. Obama is a historic disgrace. He's number one, all right. Number one as the worst president in American history. Let me say this again because it actually sounds good and makes me happy. Obama is a historic disgrace. And as we enter this Christmas holiday season, it should be a time of love and blessings and reflecting upon the birth of our Savior. Instead, we have to literally think about the fact that if we have a concealed carry license, we probably should be carrying a weapon to the shopping mall, just in case of a copycat or some other person who's decided that attacking mall shoppers during the holiday season will help them achieve eternal fame and 72 virgins. When I think of liberty and legacy, I think of my family's legacy of military service and the contribution to American life and freedom, as well as the sacrifice of their service and what they stood for, what America stands for. My grandfather believed what he was fighting for. Thankfully, the rules of engagement allowed him to do what was necessary to both stay alive and survive. There weren't rules of engagement when he was in World War II like those today that our military are subjected to. What I want to say as we enter this holiday season is one important thing, and that is victory. Not just the victory that my grandfather helped secure in World War II, but really the victory that the birth of Jesus Christ assured for each one of us. That victory over sin. For that victory, we know that we can accomplish all things through Christ who gives us strength. And we know that no terrorist, no terrible president can ever steal that victory from us. This week, pray for the victims of this terrible tragedy in San Bernardino. Pray for our nation. Pray for our future leaders. And I pray for each one of you, that you will have the strength and the fortitude and the courage, not just for doing what's right, but for doing what might be difficult. This holiday season, I pray for your safety. Be blessed. Be vigilant. You can always tweet me at Tamara Colbert, #MamaGrizzly. I would love to know what you are excited about this holiday season. And thank you to all of you who have been tweeting me this last week. I have loved every single one, and I can't wait to hear from you this week. For Mama Grizzly Radio, I'm Tamara Colbert.
Tamara Colbert in Texas. Tune in for more Liberty and Legacy next week. And to learn about Convention of States, head to conventionofstates.com. Now our weekly commentary, Steel Resolve. Here's Sarah Steelman.
Thanks, Kevin. Today my minister preached on the parable of the Good Samaritan with an interesting twist. He made us all think about the Syrian refugee crisis. Now, my preacher is what the pundits would call an evangelical. He talked about how Jesus instructs us to be like the Good Samaritan, to love our neighbors as ourselves. And furthermore, he tells us through the parable that neighbors can be total strangers and possibly enemies. Jesus wants us to take risks for him. He commands us to get out of our safe comfort zones. Our actions should demonstrate our love for God and how we treat others. My preacher reminded us that we live in a broken world, but we know as Christians that people's hearts have to change in order to change the world, and it's up to us to spread that good word. When some started talking about turning away refugees, I have to admit my gut said, no, that's not what America is about. Some of my Republican friends think otherwise. And I started to lean their way until my preacher reminded me of who we are, and I figured that's what my gut was trying to tell me too. It's not an either or, in my opinion. We have to be smart about vetting the Syrian refugees, but we also must embrace our Great Commission. Christians take risks because we are strong in faith. America is strong because the American people are faithful. Let's not hide his light when we have a chance to shine on so many who have never known him. Christians don't live fearfully. We don't cower. The angels told the shepherds to fear not. I say bring it on. Christians should unite in faith because we can win the hearts and souls of thousands. This is Sarah Steelman for Mama Grizzly Radio.
Tune in again next week for another segment of Steel Resolve right here on the Palin Update. The Palin Update, including Liberty and Legacy and Steel Resolve, is on demand and available for download. So just head to mamagrizzlyradio.com, pick the show you want to hear, and you can listen anywhere, anytime. Well, that'll just about do it for this edition of the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. Visit mamagrizzlyradio.com for continuing coverage of Governor Palin. Also, like Mama Grizzly Radio on Facebook and follow along on Twitter at Mama Grizz Radio, at Kevin Scholla, at Tamara Colbert, and at Sarah_Steelman. And I'm doing some writing for Breitbart News. Go to Breitbart.com and search Kevin Scholla. I want to thank Sarah Steelman, Tamara Colbert, and everyone here at Mama Grizzly Radio. Thanks to Ted Yoho, and thank you for listening today. A special thanks to our sponsor, Narrowgate Security Agency. Visit narrowgate.com. The Palin Update is produced by Lena Anderson, the Andy L. Kramer, and Lorianne Lewis. Please be sure to join us again next time for another edition of the Palin Update right here on Mama Grizzly Radio. I'm Kevin Scholla. Have a pleasant day, and Happy Hanukkah.